So I want to talk about how the rubric is applied to content mastery. But before I do so, you should know what that is. What is content mastery? That's basically the stuff that you need to know about biology to be certified as a student who learned it. Now, in a typical biology class, that's where most of the grade comes from. But in my class, it's only 30% of your grade. And in a future video, I'm going to explain why. It's not that the content doesn't matter, it's just that it's not the most important thing. You may end up forgetting what you learned in biology class. I hope not. I hope some of it goes with you. But it's really the skills that you learn that will go with you for the rest of your life and be applied to any context of your life. That doesn't mean, however, that the content doesn't matter, because how can you apply something that you haven't learned about, right? So, what is this content? Now, at the bottom of the syllabus, you can see the topics we're going to cover this year. We're going to learn about living systems, then the chemistry of living systems, then how matter and energy operate and move around in living systems. Then we're going to learn about ecosystems and how they change and stay the same over time, right? How try to maintain stability and change. How humans are impacting the ecosystems of the earth. How life organisms change over time through the process of evolution and the evidence that we have to back that up. How cells maintain stability and change over time. How genetics and heredity, so how the information, biological information, is passed across generations. And that, of course, is done through DNA, the molecule that has those instructions. How those instructions are read and passed, and how it actually works, the structure and function of DNA, will be one of the last units. And if we have time, we'll get a little bit more into evolution, learn about speciation and some of the patterns of change across the history of life on the planet. That is the overall picture of what we're supposed to tackle in terms of content throughout the year. If you actually look at the syllabus, and there's a link to this in Schoology somewhere too, there is a curriculum guide of the district that teachers use to try to help them maintain pace and also the sequence that things are going to go in the year. And if you look at that, it's basically the same thing that I showed you in the syllabus, but in each unit, you can see some standards. These standards is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about content mastery. At the beginning of each unit on Schoology, if you open the unit, the very first document is a resource document that lists a bunch of useful things. I talk about that in another video. But the first page lists the vocabulary, the enduring understanding, essential questions, and the standards that we hit each day that we're going to do in class. And in a course plan, which is a document that shows what we do each day in class, I actually break down what we're tackling each day. Which of these standards is the focus of that day, right? And in fact, if you go to your biology mastery evidence portfolio, you can see all the units of the year listed there. And so if you pick a random unit, let's say ecosystems, you can see the different subtopics which are going to be in that unit. Population ecology, community ecology, and ecosystem ecology are the subtopics within the ecosystems unit. And these are the things that I have to certify each student on, these subtopics, right? And so I have unit one kind of done already, so you can see the different assignments that a student can do within that unit in order to earn mastery of those skills. So the students will have multiple opportunities to do so. And so each of these subtopics relates to these standards that we're talking about before. So that's what content mastery is, demonstrating that you know your stuff, your facts about biology. And that's about 30% of your grade. And each unit has subtopics that you have to hit. And that's what shows up on Infinite Campus, those subtopics. But each of those subtopics relates to one of the standards that is actually on the national science standards that are followed in our class, in here on the District of Greeley and on D6 Online Academy. All right, so hopefully now you have an idea of the different things we're going to learn about this year and what do I actually mean by content mastery. The stuff you got to know about the facts of biology, the mechanisms, how photosynthesis work, the parts of the cell, right? The different things we learn about this year. So I hope that makes sense. On the next video, I'm going to show you how the rubric that we saw before is applied to the grading of this.